What's going on, everybody, and happy Tag Team Thursday. I'm closing it out here. If you guys have just been joining or if you've been hanging out this entire time, welcome. Thanks for stopping by the channel. Huge shout out to the guys, to the crew. Starting off with Rod, just a Rican and his comics, 6:30 as always. And I'm saying this because, you know, if you're catching the replay or if you're just jumping into it now and you're trying to figure out what this Tag Team Thursday thing's about, we started out over on Rod's channel over an hour ago. So this party has been going, and now we're kicking off the after party. But it started off at 6:30 over at Rod's channel, and then we went over to John. John's Comics with Kids. From there, we went to Tony, Old Wolf 65. Then we went over to Dan's channel, Comic Chop News, and then jumped over to Brandon's channel just a few minutes ago. Everybody was hanging out over there. Comics King, great job, buddy. And so now we're here, back again for another series where I'm talking about the books that I've been reading just as from this past week. I got 5 books that I want to talk to you guys about. I'll talk a little bit about them, not give too many spoilers, but I will mention a few things. So, you know, bear that in mind. Take a moment, like the video if you haven't already. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Let's say a quick hello to the chat. And this is the chat we've been hanging out with all evening. So it's great to see everybody. We got Sean Miller first in the chat. What's going on, Sean? Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for stopping in. We got John's Comics with Kids. Hello, hello. John, I'm going to try to keep this at a reasonable time tonight. That's my goal. You know, reasonable. 45, 80 minutes, reasonable. PJ King in the house. Good to see you, my friend. PJ, always supporting us. Appreciate you, man. Just hanging out with the Tag Team Thursday crew. And there's Dan. Justin going for a 45-minute to an hour this week. Yeah, like how long? How many more innings does Justin have in him? How much can he push? For real, man. What's up, Sparks? Great seeing you, brother. Always good to see you, my friend. Thanks for the shout out before. Sparks had a really nice video shouting out a couple people from the community, and he mentioned my name on that as well. So I do appreciate that very much. Todd Christian in the house, also hanging out with us throughout this entire time, and Flash by Night. Hello, hello. Flash by Night hanging out with me earlier today. If you guys missed that, I actually randomly went live on an impromptu, mail call video here on YouTube. And Flash by Night was hanging out. We were talking some indie comics and some of the things that I inspired him to pick up recently. So appreciate you, my friend. And also, so there's Brandon. If you guys missed his channel, make sure you go back and check the replay. I love this Enter Sandman. Hell yeah, we got to get that Enter Sandman music. Maybe I got to upgrade my my StreamYard so then I can get my own. Well, I guess you can't take Enter Sandman probably get in trouble for that, but some other cool music, although I do like the music I use, the countdown. Tomorrow Cinema, what's going on, man? Good to see you as well. Saw you in the chat earlier. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Yeah, man, absolutely, Sparks. Make the call to the bullpen in an hour. Yeah, man. Good stuff. So I will be jumping back and forth with the chat. Again, I'm going to try to keep this in a reasonable amount of time because I do appreciate everyone's time, and so we'll see how we do here. So my main goal tonight, I'm talking about these 5 issues, and if we get to some other stuff later, then we'll see. First one I want to start off with, and I'm not going to explain the whole digital thing because you guys know I am a fan, and this is how I read my new comic books for the most part. Although I do buy them physically as well. So I'm starting off with Nuclear Family, and I know some people already talked a little bit about Nuclear Family. This is Stephanie Phillips, Tony Chastain, and yeah, I thought it was really cool. The reason why I even knew about this book was Aftershock. They've been putting out little special clips of other books. So I just finished reading Scout's Honor like a week ago, and Scout's Honor had a little piece of a clip from this book. So it was definitely interesting, and I wanted to check it out. So if you're not familiar with it, it takes place in 1957, right around these nuclear war threats that were going on, and people building bunkers underneath their houses and things like that. And it starts with this guy, Mr. McCloud. He is a car salesman, essentially. We learn a little bit about his personality in terms of he's trying to sell this car and he's having trouble with it. So another salesman comes along and makes up this lie about how he was in the war and all this stuff, and he has shrapnel in his knee. And the guy had all this respect for him, and he ended up buying the car. And Mr. McCloud went along with the lie, but you could tell it bothered him. He even says it in there. He said, "Why do we have to lie about that? The guy was like, come on, man, you sold the car. That's what, that's at the end of the day, you're trying to do that. So he just felt uncomfortable. That to me was kind of the deepness of the character that we saw. It's not much. I do feel like it moved really fast because the rest of the way, I mean, it really sets up the stage, obviously, for more to come. But he ends up going back to his house. He has a little argument with his daughter, who's smoking a cigarette, tells her to put it out. Goes inside. His wife is finishing up dinner, or cooking dinner. So he's settling in, and then out of nowhere, this alarm goes off. And in the city that he's in the town that he's in, he goes running outside. He tells everybody, stay calm, get together, go into the basement. He runs outside, sees a neighbor, and they're talking about, come on. It takes place in Milwaukee, I think. And that's where it's just like such a random place. And they weren't worried about bomb threats in Milwaukee because it's Milwaukee. And so they were kind of ignoring it and thinking that these alarms were just like a, false alarm or a test. And then lo and behold, these massive bombs end up coming down and blowing up a lot of things around them. And they were shocked. They were yelling, get back into the house. He ends up making it, grabbing his son because his son was still upstairs. Brings him back down, and they end up going back out afterwards to see what's going on, and that's where you kind of learn a little bit more, and also the cliffhanger and all that other fun stuff. So I will definitely be continuing this for sure. I definitely want to see where this goes. And as far as the artwork, I didn't like it at first, and then it just within the issue it grew on me. So I'm open to it. I think it's fine. Want to say hello to Morbius Comics in the house. What's going on, Morbius? This man right here, that's his new channel, guys. If you get a chance, go sub him up because I twisted his arm and I made him. No, I'm just kidding. I suggested that he make a YouTube account, and he's finally done it. Make a comic book YouTube account. So congratulations, Morbius. Make sure you guys sub him up because he and I have been doing shows now. Just started off last night, Wednesday. Yeah, last night we talked a little bit about some hot topics, talked about sellers and flippers, how do you define them, what are they doing to the hobby, so on and so forth. So we'll be doing more of that. We're going to be bringing it onto YouTube. We'll start doing them at Tuesday at 7:30. So looking forward to that with Morbius. Like I said, sub him up. I'm glad that you've come to the YouTube side of things, my friend. Let me see. There's Old Wolf. Tony, what's going on, bro? Awesome video earlier today. If you guys missed that, make sure you check out the replay for Tony's as well. Like I said, this is not where it all began. It all began over an hour ago over on Just the Rican and His Comics YouTube channel. So make sure you are following along the Tag Team Thursday train as we continue onward with that. So with that being said, let's get into the next book because already I am 8 minutes in. Come on, Justin. All right, next book up. Did someone say Stray Dogs? I think I saw someone mention Stray Dogs. Yeah, tomorrow. Dude, love this book. I loved this book. So you're saying, yeah, you need to pick this up and Stray Dogs. Yeah, man, definitely. I really enjoyed it. And my girlfriend read it too. She really enjoyed it. I think partially we are big fans of dogs. So that was a big tie into that. Kind of had that 101 Dalmatians kind of vibe to it. The Lady and the Tramp, I think, is what they compare it to, but also with a Silence of the Lambs kind of vibe to it. This twist that goes on in the middle. Essentially, we start out with this little puppy, where you can see here, who is going to the vet for some shots, and she's not happy about it. And her owner is bringing her in, gets her, have the shots and everything, and then she kind of passes out, and the next thing you know, she wakes up where she's in the house with a bunch of other dogs, and it's not her own house. It's a house she's not familiar with, and it's a man who's holding her, brings her into the house, and puts her down. This is all we know. She just wakes up, and 1 minute she was at the vet with her owner. Next minute she is at this other house with this man and a bunch of dogs. All these dogs come, it's really cute. All these other dogs, they come greeting this one and saying, welcome, here, let us show you around. And, it kind of gives the dogs a little bit of a personality. You get to meet each one's name. There's like 12 dogs that are hanging out there, all different types, which is really cool. And so from there, she's really scared, doesn't know what to do. They're trying to calm her down. And then she starts to realize what happened to her owner, and that her owner was attacked. And that, it could potentially be somebody that I won't even get into all the details, but that this is like the twist, right? So it has these dark vibes, which is really cool. So definitely recommend it. Some really cool artwork. Like I said, oh, that's really really bad glare there. Not going to be able to see that, huh? Yeah, there you go. Here's all the dogs chilling. So yeah, kind of like that 101 Dalmatians vibe. Let me get back in the chat real quick. Rod saying I got the size. Oh, nice. That's a great cover. Yeah, I missed that one. I wish I did, but I ended up getting cover A, and maybe I don't know. It's not too late. I could probably still get it. Phil is in the house. What's going on, Phil? Good to see you, my friend. Comics Talk Weekly. Let's see. Let's see. Flash by Night. Oh, he's talking to Morbius. Jumping around a little bit here. Okay, yeah. I guess I jumped too far ahead. Yeah, it's definitely twisted. It's definitely twisted. So it's not necessarily like a kid's book. Someone asked me on Instagram if this was something that they could read to their 3-year-old. I would say ultimately not, just because there is that vibe of like this murder that happens, and or well, not even murder, but this attack that happens, and it has these dark vibes that I don't know if is necessarily appropriate for a 3-year-old. So, but anyways, that's a little bit about that one. Let's jump into the next book here. We will jump into. I want to hold on. Hold on to that one. This one here, The Eighth Immortal. This is issue number 2. I don't know if you guys have been reading this. If you have, I'm really curious to what you think about it. I'm struggling with this book. It's not really keeping me hooked. The artwork I thought was cool in the beginning, and then I don't know. I guess it's just too not the kind of comic style that I like. I don't know how else to describe it. The issue 1 ended with one of the immortals who her job is to make sure that there only stays 7 immortals throughout the world. And so there's these like random kids who end up like have the potential to become immortal, that she basically takes this power away from them as their kids. So last issue ended with her ending up not taking away the powers of this one particular child that she was supposed to. And so she let that go, and you kind of learn a little bit more about that here on how that may or may not bite her in the butt. But meanwhile, you get to meet all the other immortals, and I think that was kind of what was a turnoff, because they all just seemed like these like reckless partiers who, I mean, they're immortals. I guess that kind of makes sense. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I can sell anybody on this book. I'm not. I wasn't really fully grabbed on it, so I'm probably going to pass after this, and maybe check it out in trade if I hear better things about it. So, but it is. Yeah, I don't know. That's all I really have to say about it. Let's move on to the next one, which I really enjoyed. And I got 2 books left for you guys. 2 books left. Thanks for hanging out. 2 Moons. Really love this book. You guys reading this right now? I'm really curious what you guys think. I ended up getting this and cover B for the I think it was A and B. They might have come out with a sketch cover as well. I'm not sure. This is an image cover by Arcudi and Giangor. Yep, not gonna try it. So definitely like the vibes here. You can see that it's a horror type style of book that takes place in the Civil War era, where this young man here is fighting for the Union. He is Native American. His parents passed away when he was young, so he kind of joined the army when he was young and went right into things. Didn't have any of his family members or anyone around that could guide him in any way. He just kind of jumped right into the army. So the twist with this is that he essentially is seeing like ghosts, I guess. He's seeing these ghosts that are tied into his Native American background, almost like family members that are trying to reach out to him, or someone that's trying to warn him of something. And there's a scene where he sees someone that recognizes him and calls him. His name is 2 Moons. That's his Native American name. And this guy who's all beat up and hurt, sitting near, I guess, what do you call it, where they're here's the scene right here. So all these like bedridden guys who are all injured, kind of like the hospital area of where they're taking care of people. And as he's walking through, he sees this one dude who actually calls him out, by name. And before he could even go up and talk to him, he gets interrupted by a nurse. And when the nurse comes in, she goes, "Did you know who he was? It's really sad." And he's like, "What do you mean, did I? Like, why are you talking in that sense?" And he looks, and it turns out that this was a corpse the entire time, that this guy did not make it. So whoever this was, he imagined or witnessed a ghost that was essentially talking, and he swears that he heard his name be called. So really interesting to kind of see that little bit of him. And he has this little moment with this woman here, who he explains a little bit about war. There is definitely some nasty images, so definitely not for kids or anything, but I really enjoyed it overall. I won't get too much more in detail. Really love the artwork. There are some monster type things in this for sure, so if you're liking the horror vibes, definitely check it out. Yeah, man. Tomorrow saying you gotta quit telling me about all these dope books. Yeah, I know, dude. I feel you, man. The wallet, it is burning the wallet, but you gotta get them, man. No, like I like to talk about the books I read, and I would recommend if you can get them. There are some good books, the ones I'm enjoying. I wanted to say, so John, he was going to do this for book club. I know that they ended up canceling it tonight, but it was very good, very cool art style, everything. Same page with you, John. Yeah, I saw Alec. You mentioned Alec couldn't get his books in time. I guess that happened in a lot of different areas. I don't know where Alec is from actually, but I know Rod had some issues. Luckily, Rod was able to get his, and I feel like I've heard some other people in the community talk about that as well. Pretty enjoyable read. Definitely continuing it. Great art. Sparks spot on, my friend. I am definitely going to continue that as well. So all right, I got one more book for you guys, and then you guys let me know what you think. Yeah, Morbius, you checked it out too. Like the artwork, very cool, very cool. All right, let me jump into the last book. So last book, I was waiting, and I would love to hear your guys' opinion on this. Department of Truth. So this is issue number 6. It technically starts the new story, or the new story arc, I guess. 1 through 5 was the first trade. This book, the big change up in this book is that it has a new artist for the interior. The exterior stuff is still Simmons, Martin Simmons. This is Elsa Carretier. Yep. I apologize for butchering that stuff. But it is Elsa. And I had a really hard time with this artwork, guys. I had a really hard time with it. If you guys have been following me, you know I love Department of Truth. Absolutely love the series. Loved the first 5 issues. Thought it was incredible. Loved the idea, the concept of it, where they're going with things. The artwork, as I talked about before, Simmons just absolutely killing it in this book. So I was nervous when they said that they were going to change it up, and lo and behold, they changed it up. So I want to give it a chance. There's 2 parts of artwork in here. There's one where there's like a flashback, and then you get this like deep history lesson of a flashback, and that was really rough to me. And I mean, I guess I don't know if that was the vibe they were going for. It's clearly 2 different artworks, so I do think it was very much on purpose. At least that secondary history moment, or not moment, but it's like half the book. But there's also just a lot of talking in this. I mean, I guess that's how the last one was, but the last one definitely had you hooked, especially when you meet the people that you meet. In case you guys haven't read it, I won't put that out there. But here it just starts, you basically get a start to learning about Lee Oswald and how things go down with him, where he essentially is shot. This is before he is anywhere near part of Department of Truth. This is back in, does it state? Yeah. So 1963, this takes place in Dallas. And there's basically an assassination, someone trying to take out Lee Oswald, and there's these reporters who are basically just explaining that that's not the reporters, basically just explaining that he has been shot, Lee Oswald is down and he's been shot. So it's not this is where it kind of starts off. I wanted to jump up real quick. I saw Roger in the house. What's going on, Roger? 3 Men in the Basement. Going to be on Roger's channel this Monday coming up, March 1st. Is that this Monday? Yeah. Really excited. He's going to be interviewing me, kind of like an origin story background, asking me questions. I'm really excited for that. So Roger, my friend, thank you so much for stopping by. And I can't wait for Monday. Definitely looking forward to that. Oh, Massachusetts. Okay. Oh, but he lives in Florida, so maybe it's a Florida thing. Okay, yeah, with the weather, or I don't even know. I haven't kept up with what's going on in Florida, but there you go. Can someone drop Morbius's link in the channel? Yeah, I can do that momentarily. I wasn't really feeling the transition. the shift in the art, it was jarring. Yeah, you talking about that? Yeah. So this definitely, and dude, I loved the first 5 issues. Absolutely loved it. And even, I mean, my girlfriend was reading it too. She was not fond of this issue. You get this big history lesson and just like where things were going even before this time. Like you get the like 1000 AD is how far back that it goes. So you're talking way thousands of years ago. So Shattered Glass, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, Department. I mean, it's a great series. Just not crazy about this particular issue. I'm gonna obviously continue it because it's just been so exciting otherwise. So I'm gonna keep that going for sure. But just not. I don't know. To me, it was weaker. It's just a bit of a weaker issue. And maybe a big part of that has to do with the artwork. But we'll see. They're going at a different angle here, trying to get a little more information about Lee Oswald. So. Binge not banged. It's a beautiful trade though. Yep. Yeah, the first 5 issues, they were awesome. Yep, there's Roger. Yeah, if I don't know if anybody can get Morbius's link, but if they could drop it, would be cool. C3 in the house. Saw you earlier. What's going on, brother? And Todd, hello. I wish Tinian gets Department of Truth mode for Batman. His Batman run is very mediocre. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I haven't read any of his Batman stuff. I feel like I've heard mixed feelings about that because I feel like I've heard some people say they like it and then others not. But I'm not sure. Thanks, Rod. That's Chamaro's. If you could find, I was looking for Morbius's if he's still in here. Morbius Comics, who just started his YouTube channel. But if not, I can grab it later. But yeah, so that's kind of where I stand with this. Let me give you a quick glimpse here. So this was like the first bit here. Lee Oswald being brought into the Department of Truth and basically being told to sit in a library and study and just read and stay on the low because he's supposed to be dead and he's not really dead. This artwork, I think it's different. I don't have a problem with it. It's fine. If the rest of the series is like this, I'm okay with that. What I wasn't crazy about is this style. And again, I do think this is what they were going for, was this, I don't even know what to describe this as, but just like this old ancient style. I don't know. There's a Lady in Red, by the way. Lady in Red's still around. There's Morbius. Morbius, drop your link, man, if you can grab that. So Flash by Night can follow. Anyways, so now I'm rambling at this point. These are the books that I've been reading right now. I will just say, if I add on here, I always like to talk about next week's books just a tad bit. I know I'm on 808 right now. It's not too bad, right, guys? Really looking forward to High Republic issue number 3. Again, I've said this before. If you guys have always wanted to read Star Wars and you just haven't because there's just so much of it out there and you want to start with something fresh, this is a great series to start on. It's a lot of fun. You get a bunch of new characters. Has nothing to do with Luke Skywalker or anything like that. It starts completely earlier on, before any of that. So there's nothing to really get confused with in that sense. I'm looking forward to that one. Fear Case issue number 2. Really, really excited for this book. I love the first issue. You guys saw this a couple weeks ago. I talked about this. I think it's really good. Matt Kind, really creepy stuff. I won't get into all the details now, but Fear Case, definitely another one. And then this one here, Chariot. I don't know if anyone talked about it on any of the channels. If they did, I missed it. AWA putting out some great stuff. I remember Rod saying that, and definitely they are. AWA. Chariot. This is Brian Hill and Priscilla Petrates. Petrates. I think I'm saying that right. So Priscilla, this got my attention from something that I follow Priscilla on Instagram, and she put out some of the artwork from this. This actual cover is Jeff DeCal, I think. This is Jeff. Yeah, Jeff DeCal. But Priscilla is doing the interior work, and it is some beautiful stuff. Definitely want to check this out. Don't know much about it. From my understanding, I think it takes place in the 80s. It's a 5-issue series. This vehicle is a weapon of some sort, and this guy gets a hold of this vehicle, and some other crazy stuff happens. So either way, yeah, Flash by Night saying, love Brian Hill. For sure, Brian Edward Hill, definitely. What was I gonna say? Yeah, definitely checking this out. And even just for the cover is a really cool cover by Jeff DeCal as well. Let me see if what's up, Jeffrey? Jeff in the house from anything and everything. So, all right, so that's kind of wrapping things up. Like, if you guys missed any of the other Tag Team Thursday stuff, make sure you go check out the replays because they're all up there now. Started at 6:30, just the Rican and his comics. Then it went to John's Comics with Kids. Then Tony, Old Wolf 65. Then we went over to Dan's channel, Comic Chop News. And then we jumped over to Brandon's channel, Comics Kings. So make sure you catch all those replays if you missed them. Take a moment to like the video too. That helps the channel. For any of our videos. We really appreciate everybody hanging out. Tomorrow is Friday, and then Saturday I have Comic Collector Origins, where I'm bringing on my good friend, Comic Books in Boston. He's someone I know from Instagram, so kind of introducing him to the YouTube family. Maybe you follow him on Instagram, maybe you don't, but he's a really cool dude. So really excited to interview Comic Books in Boston. And then, like I said, Monday I'll be over on Roger's channel. 3 Men in the Basement. Really excited about that as well. If you missed earlier this morning, I was doing a stream live, really random, and had a good amount of people come out and hang out. So appreciate you guys jumping in at that. Catch the replay to that if you haven't, or if you missed it. Just did a unboxing. And then the other thing is Morbius's channel, who I was just oh, did I? Oh yeah. Oh, sorry, Morbius game. Let me do that real quick before you guys jump off. If I can find Morbius here. Hang tight here. Hang tight. Go to YouTube. So the other thing I was gonna say was last night, Morbius and we just did this whole new show where we kicked off. We call it Comic Relief, and it's not exactly what you think. We talk about some touchy subjects. Where this time we talked about sellers versus flippers, or really we talked about like seller's intent. You know, what is the intention of a seller? What makes it okay versus what makes it something that kind of ruins the hobby. So we talked about those who, you know, might potentially take advantage of people versus people who are just innocently selling books. We talk about a lot of different aspects and we take different sides. So it's definitely eye-opening. Let me just type this in real quick. Oh man, of course there's a bunch of Morbius comics. All right, I'm gonna have to grab the link later. I'll drop it on my my story. Sorry, Morbius. Or I don't know how else to find you otherwise. Yeah, well, I'll update my stuff later here and drop it in. Again, like I said, yeah, Roger was mentioning this Monday, 7 o'clock Eastern time. I'll be over there with 3 Men in the Basement talking with Roger live with the Cranky Canadian. It's a lot of fun, and like I said, he'll be interviewing me, so kind of switching gears. And I know a lot of you see me from a lot of my interviews that I do with other people. So this time it'll be kind of flipped around, which is nice, you know, to kind of just mix it up and share a little bit more about myself, and you know, hopefully meet some new people along the way. So yeah, this Tuesday, Comic Relief is going to be Tuesday, 7:30 to 8:30 Eastern time. I think we're going to do it on my channel to kick it. And then maybe we'll go back and forth between me and Morbius. And then, of course, we got John's Comics with Kids. I'll be doing Tuesday right after that, 9 o'clock. Of course, Omni X-Men. So definitely going to be another great episode of that. That'll be over on John's channel, breaking down issue 116. Man, we're just flying through these X-Men books now. Dave is in the house. What's up, Dave? Sorry I missed you earlier. Munching on dinner. Very nice, very nice. Let's see if I missed anyone else here. Oh, nice. Yeah, the Power Ranger stuff. So that was some of the free stuff that I got from Anything and Everything. They actually threw some free books into. Oh no, I put them away. Some free books that I wanted to that I might dive into, and some of it was some Power Rangers, which I have not read any Power Rangers. I used to watch it when I was a kid, but never got into it otherwise. So definitely going to check some of that stuff out. Good stuff. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up because now I'm just rambling, and I was doing really good, right? I was going to wrap it up a little earlier. Now I'm hitting that 30-minute mark. So I appreciate all you guys hanging out. Like I said, this is Tag Team Thursday. Shout out to the guys who started this, Rod, John, and Tony. This all started over on Rod's channel at 6:30. Guys, we do this every Thursday, 6:30, Rod's channel, and just follow the crowd from there. That's where we all go. So it's a lot of fun. We all talk about different books we've read. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and make sure you hit that like button on the way out. Catch the replays of all the other guys if you missed them, and I will see you Saturday for Comic Collector Origins. 2 o'clock Eastern time. All right, guys.